Hello, and welcome to the world of small breed dogs. My name is Allison, and this is Paws. I've been working with small breed dogs building their confidence through enrichment and socialization for 7 years. In those 7 years, I have taken a keen interest in their behavior and body language. One thing I have learned is that anxiety and fear runs rampant in the small breed world. So I'd like to spend some time talking about small dog syndrome, why it's a thing, and where it comes from. We have all heard the jokes about small breed dogs, right? The yappy dogs, the ankle biters, purse dogs, Napoleon syndrome. They certainly have created a reputation for themselves. Why is this? Is it lack of training? Perhaps. But there are large breed dogs that are lacking training also. Why don't large breed dogs have this blanket reputation? Sure, there are some large breed dogs that have reactivity and will bark at other dogs, but not in the overwhelming numbers that small breed dogs do. So what is it about small breed dogs? Let's look into it. In order to learn about small breed behavior, we have to start at the beginning. It's proven that a dog's socialization period largely dictates an adult dog's behavior later in life. A dog's brain will see the most rapid development within the first 14 weeks of life and will determine much of how a dog will behave throughout their life. This is true for both large and small breed dogs. It can't be that only small dogs have limited exposure during their socialization period, can it? Why is it that some large breed dogs that weren't socialized properly don't have the lack of confidence associated with small dogs? According to Jessica Heckman, doctor of veterinary medicine and currently working with genomics of canine behavior, during the socialization period, when a puppy learns something new, the synapses between neurons become stronger, connecting the neurons more tightly so that information, in the form of neurotransmitters, flows between them more readily. This process is part of what builds the brain's ability to take in information and make decisions based on that information. One difference between the brains of puppies and adult dogs is that the puppy brain initially makes a lot of extra synapses to support a puppy's ability to rapidly learn about the world. This means there are more pathways available for learning. This age-related increase in available synapses is short-lived, as the brain can't sustain so many simultaneous pathway information exchanges at once. As the early socialization window closes, weaker synapses, those with fewer learning experiences, are weeded out in a use it or lose it process known as pruning. In other words, a dog's brain will erase learned experiences that it deems unnecessary. So if a puppy has more negative reactions to new things, or if the puppy has very few exposures to new things, the puppy's brain will store the negative associations and they will grow up to fear new things. This is why it's so important that puppies have only positive experiences to all environments, textures, situations, and senses in their very early years. So you're probably asking yourself, how does this process, known as neural pruning, differentiate the behaviors of small dogs compared to large dogs? Great question. A study conducted by Aaron Hecht of Harvard suggests that the established link between the dog body size and behavior is due to, at least in part, to disproportionate enlargement of later developing regions in larger brain dogs. So could that mean a larger brain could equal larger area to store more synapses, or less pruning will occur during the socialization period? Meaning larger dogs would store more positive associations and exposures. Therefore, less experiences would be considered scary to the large dogs. Now that we know why small dogs are more prone to behavior issues, let's dive into what that can look like once they have reached adulthood. In short, all that neural pruning during the socialization period can lead to an overabundance of fear and anxiety. This fear and anxiety will lead to stress and the release of hormones that your brain thinks is necessary to keep them safe. This sympathetic nervous system response is known as the 4 F's: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. A fight response you may recognize as the small dog at the end of their tight leash, often only on their two hind legs, choking themselves while trying to devour whatever is triggering them. This is what most people think of when they hear about small dog syndrome. But you may not always think about the small dogs that cower and hide behind their humans' legs, desperate to get away from the hand that looms towards them in an attempt at petting. These are the dogs that will bolt in stressful situations. This is the flight response. What about the small dogs that walk nicely next to their humans? There's a dullness in their eyes. When you reach down to pet them, they stand still and let you do whatever you want. They don't seem to mind, right? So you just keep petting them. They don't want your treats or your toys. They're just there. This is the freeze response. Their brain can't seem to handle the stress, so they're just frozen. And then there's what I call the turtlers. They will approach you with their tail whipping from one side to the other. Their head is as low as it can go. It may be even tucked under their body, almost ready to do a somersault. Maybe they pee a little at your touch. They're just excited to see you, right? Or are they? These behaviors can be associated with the fawn response. Appease, appease, appease. These are all the ways your dog's brain will decide how to handle stress and fear. So all this to say, it's easy to see how fear and anxiety can develop so easily in a small brain. What a scary world it is for the little guys, with towering giants and mammoth beasts running around. We need to build the confidence of our wee little friends. So don't hesitate to let your small dog be a dog. Let them sniff all the things. Let them roll around in the grass. Let them meet their large furry friends. Let them make decisions. Let them dance in the rain. Let's all give them their space and cut them some slack. They're just doing their best in a world not made for them. But most importantly, be kind always. And remember to go at the pace that your dog sets. Thanks, everyone.